Welcome student. In the last lecture, we have taken an introduction of a Thallophyta and a Bryophyta, and we have completed our introductory lecture up to the Anthocerus. Today we are starting from Funaria. So Funaria is also one of the very good and important bryophytic plant, and it is also occurred in our Maharashtra, in our Sindhudurg also, in also Vaibhodi also. So in that Funaria, we are going to dealing with its systematic position. In the systematic position, we have to study the class, subclass, order, family, genus, then number of species, then where it is occur, how it is looking, that habit and its distribution, as well as external morphology. External morphology I shown on this plate. Look at it, is very interesting and very peculiar bryophytic plant which is commonly occurred around us. The upper a head flower like structure, that is nothing but a capsule, then seta is there and small leaves is there, and this whole capsule, seta and leaves are arranged on the axis, and the root like structure, that is called rhizoid, because it is not a true angiospermy plant like which showing a presence of roots. It shows the presence of rhizoids instead of our true roots. Then internal structure of the stem, we have to take the section of this main axis. Then reproduction of Funaria, which is represented by three methods. One is vegetative, second is sexual, and third is the sexual reproduction. By two methods, it is shown by two methods, vegetative and sexual reproduction. Then alternation of generation we are going to. So look at this slide. I shown here the antheridial heads, then a capsule, then life cycle of Funaria, then there is the archegonial head. This antheridial head and archegonial head. Antheridial head is the male reproductive structure, whereas archegonial head is the female reproductive structure. And in the corner there is a section of axis. There is a section of axis. Then we will study the epidermal pattern, then cortical pattern, and which type of the tissues which is present into the center of the axis, that we are going to deal with this. Then come to the second unit, that is angiosperm. In that second unit, we will discuss about the systematics, objective, goals of plant systematics. First of all, know that what is meant by systematic. A systematic means nothing but a proper study of any group. It may be a bryophyte, it may be angiosperm, but here in unit second we are basically concerned with the angiospermy plants. So what is the objective? Why we have to study the systematic? Then goals of plant systematic, what we have to achieve after the studying of these systematics. In that systematic unit, there is a subpoint plant nomenclature. It is a very important aspect in the plant taxonomy. A plant nomenclature dealing with its naming rules, regulations, and that are after every 5 years there is a formation of a code by international unions of plant systematic study scientists and ICBN we will call it. Then they are deciding the rules for the nomenclature of the plants. If suppose there is one name Mangifera indica L, that Mangiferica defined as the generic epithet, the species epithet is the indica, and the L full stop is nothing but the abbreviated form of Linnaeus. So this is the common method writing the plant name. Then when we are writing into the textbook, when we are writing in our notebook, or if we are typing the name, so how it is written, so that we are going to study in the plant nomenclature, and there are various nomenclaturist people are working on this plant nomenclature in the present era also. Number of papers are published in every month that dealing with nomenclature. Some spelling mistake is there, some Latin diagnosis mistake is there, some lectotypification is there, some this type of the study means nothing but the plant nomenclature. The plant nomenclature basically depends means nothing but बाळाचं जसं आपण नामकरण सोहळा करतो तसं प्लांटचा एक नामकरण सोहळा ज्याला नामकरण आपण करतो त्याला आपण प्लांट नॉमिक्लेचर याच्यामध्ये म्हणतो. प्लांट नॉमिक्लेचर करत असताना बऱ्याचशा गोष्टी महत्त्वाच्या आहेत, जसे की एनीबडी कॅन डिसाइड दी प्लांट नेम ऑन दी बेसिस ऑफ इट्स कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स मीन्स नथिंग बट दी मॉर्फोलॉजिकल कॅरेक्टर, और यू कॅन ऑनर्ड समवन, you can honored someone the plant name. Like I have described one small taxa, that is a variety level taxa, that is Crotalaria orygensis variety Nike. That Nike is nothing but a variety, but it is honored to Dr. V.N. Naik. So this type of the method, like there is again one example on the basis of morphological character of the flower leaf, like Triumpheta pentandra. That a Triumpheta term is derived from the name of one scientist, that is G.B. Triumpheti, and pentandra means 5 androecium is present into the flower. So this is the common rules and regulations we have to follow into the nomenclature, plant nomenclature. Then second subunit is nothing but the taxonomy in relation to the anatomy. A taxonomy is the dynamic science, and the duty of taxonomist never ending, we all know that. But what happened, many times the people are describing a new species based on the morphological characters. Similarities, dissimilarities are used to describe the new plant taxa. But in case of a complex, if some scientist group or some people are called as a splitters, they are splitting the taxa, they are separating the taxa from one taxa from another taxa, they are separating, and some of the taxonomies they are compiler. So in that complex matter, some scientist group having opinion that this taxa is not different from this one, and some people or some group is saying that it is the different from the morphological characters. So when such problems are happen into the our taxonomy, at that time we must have to take the support of a different disciplines. So that's why I am calling here that the taxonomy is the dynamic science. It is incomplete with the support of other disciplines. So there are various disciplines which we have to take the supports for the solving the or resolving the taxonomical problems. So first, that is we can take a help of anatomy. In that anatomy you can take the sections of a root, stem, leaves, petiole, seeds, embryo, and after the comparison you can say that what is the correct your opinion, what is it is a merged taxa or a distinct taxa. Similarly, there is the one second discipline, that is a palynology. In that palynology we have to take the support on the pollen morphological characters. We have to study the exine, intine. Basically exine structure are employed to support the plant systematic studies. There is one common example in a Convolvulaceae family. There is one genus Meremia and Ipomia. These Meremia and Ipomia having one of the good palynological character is the presence of spiny exine on Ipomia species, whereas the Meremia shows a smooth entire exine up to the pollen grains. So similarly we have to study here how the pollen grain and pollen morphology helping the plant taxonomy. Then chemical constituents. We know that the plants are every plant is having its own medicinal properties, but we have to find out. There is no any other, there is no one plant on the earth which is not useful for the man. But the man are always thinking about, they are behaving like a selfish. It is not useful to us, so why we have to cultivate it, why we have to conserve it? But there is a small microbes, a number of microorganisms are related to particular species, so they are dependent on that, and we don't want to disturb our life cycle and our this ecosystem. So every individual, whether it is a microorganism, this is also important to save the earth. So that's why we have to conserve all the plants. Why? Because every plant having its own chemical components. Like there is one example, like Lamiaceae family group member. These are every leaves of the family Lamiaceae member are showing a different fragrance. So this is nothing but important characteristics of family Lamiaceae. Then come to the next point, embryology. The embryology also playing a very important role to solving the taxonomical complexes. The different type of the embryo we are going to dealing with this. There are basic 4 types. Then come to the cytology. This is also one of the important. We have to study the cell structure, then number of chromosomes. Such type of the study is going on into the cytology. There is one good example to solve the taxonomical problem. There is a chlorophyton. Based on the cytological study, various species are get merged. Then ecology. Ecology, basically it is nothing but a house of the plant. In that subunit we are going to deal with its association, its habit, and different ecological methods we have of the studying to the forest. There is a quadrat method is there, pin quadrat is there, line quadrat is there, square quadrat is there. Various methods we are going to study with this topic, ecology. Then come to the next point, that is the Bentham-Hooker system of classification for flowering plants. Study the vegetative, floral character and economic importance of the following family: Leguminosae, Asteraceae, Amaranthaceae and Palmaceae. In Leguminosae, there is again 3 subfamilies. Number 1, Fabaceae, second is Mimosaceae, and the third one, that is Caesalpinaceae, Mimosaceae and Fabaceae. These 3 families we are going to dealing with this family. And this one is the one of the largest family. World having the 10 largest families. Out of that, it is also included into the 10 largest family, Leguminosae. Then come to the next, Asteraceae. It is a sunflower family. This family is showing very peculiar characteristics. The presence of a head inflorescence, 2 type of the inflorescence, that is heterogamous and homogamous flower is there. Then Amaranthaceae, then Palmae, that is Coccus nucifera, and come to the third unit, that is modern techniques to study the plant diversity. This unit showing a preservation of method and dry and wet method of plant preservation. When we are studying the plants, we must aware that how it is preserved. So there is a 2 method. One is the dry method and second is the wet method. In dry method, we are going to dealing with the herbarium preparation method, how plant collected, then how it is poisonated, how it is mounted, and how it is labeled into the herbarium sheets. Then wet method, there is nothing but the liquid preservations. There are various chemical we can use for the preservation of any plant material, like formaldehydes, then 70% alcohol, 80% alcohol. So this method we are going to discuss in this small subunit. Then come to the next point, that is a microscopy. In microscopy, we will discuss about the principal working of light and electron microscope. that compound microscope, how it is work, then electron microscope, how it is work, we are going to discuss. Then chromatography. In chromatography, a chromatography means, a chroma means color and graphy means study. The separation of a different pigments with the help of different methods we are going to dealing with this. And there is a two method. One is the thin layer chromatography and principles and techniques of horizontal and vertical electrophoresis. So this is unit 1, unit 2 and unit 3. The every unit having the 15 lectures, and we have to do the practicals of unit 1. In unit 1 there is a 4 practical, in unit 2 there is a 3 practicals, and unit 3rd showing the 4 practicals. So in the next lecture we will start the general characters of a division Phaeophyta, distribution, cell structure, range of thallus and economic importance. Thank you.